Alrighty now. Kind of in my garage, a little cold out here. Got my heater going. This video here is going to be kind of an intro to a video I put out about a week ago. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. It was, oh, what the hell was it? What happens when you don't open your hood? Now, this guy, to start off with, the clip is at a warehouse down in San Antonio. We go down there every week. A gentleman passed by me when I was checking the truck out before I went over to the guard shack. About 5 minutes went by and I got over there. He's broke down the driveway. Shut his truck off so he could check in, and then he couldn't get it started again. Come find out, he'd just gotten the truck on Friday, that previous Friday. Today's the video is Tuesday morning, so he had his truck for 5 days. Should have had the hood up at least 5 times. Didn't know how to take the deer guard down, so therefore I knew he never had the hood up. So, but it turns out it was the batteries, and but even with that said, you know, your starter most of the time don't just always go out. You know, it kind of gives you some trouble up until that point. Same way with your batteries, and he had he has on that truck, he's got a Tri-Pack Evolution APU, and I've had them on both of my trucks. And when your batteries start to go, you can kind of, if you're paying attention, you can kind of see it happening as it's happening, because you drive down the road, you know, 2-3 hours or what have you, and you pull in somewhere, shut your truck off to either get fuel, go and get coffee, use the bathroom, what have you. And like in my case, less than a minute goes by and your APU comes on wanting to charge them batteries. So that's when you know. And in both times, you know, not all the time, but in my cases, both times when I started investigating, I could smell like sulfur or rotten eggs. So sometimes it's not only just your pre-trip that you need to pay attention to, is throughout the whole day. Little events like what I just described, the APU coming on, having a little trouble starting or what have you. Your battery voltage, pay attention to that. Him opening his hood or not really didn't much affect this deal here, but not paying attention did. And he had his girlfriend with him, so was that enough of a distraction to screw shit up? Probably. But he sat there in that driveway, you know, and I helped him. And the pre-trip, it just goes back to him not ever opening that hood since Friday. He had air leaks. From the time I got there to when we realized it wasn't jumping, it wasn't going to do any good, we decided we was going to back the brakes off. Well, we was, you know, just release the brakes, and that's the reason that chain was hanging there. The yard truck was going to pull him out from underneath the trailer, then they was going to move the trailer while the shop came. Well, he had lost all his air within 10 or 15 minutes, or it could have been 20. You know, that's a pretty good sized air leak. He had absolutely no air in the truck. Mine, I really have to look, but it's kind of cold right now, and with mine doesn't leak off till what, about 15 hours. I'll be sitting somewhere for 15 hours and then my buttons will pop out. But yeah, and then I don't know whether once they're locked down you really can't adjust them very good. You know, we couldn't get them brakes backed off, so they started putting everybody around there's a one way in, one way out. One way in on the one side of the building and then one way out on the other side of the building. So because he was sitting there and he couldn't get nowhere and we couldn't get him out from underneath the trailer, they started sending everybody around the wrong way on the other side of the building. And essentially that's what they did to me. They sent me around and I put it in the door, and I come back around to try and help him. That's when we was trying to back the brakes off and all that good stuff, with no avail. But then, you know, after that I figured I'd make that video. You could see that chain hanging down on the front of his deer guard and everything. And after I left, somewhere in the time frame of when they unloaded me, the shop came, put new batteries in. He's able to start it. They pulled him ahead and he still wasn't in the door yet when I left. But once I got pulled around up front and sent my paperwork off and I was about ready to leave, he drove by. Yeah, you really have to do a good pre-trip, and then, you know, pay attention to what's going on with that truck throughout the day. And the guy he called about the deer guard, he was talking to his boss, but he didn't ask his boss because he didn't want his boss to know he didn't pick the hood up. But the guy that he got the truck from, another company guy, he told him about that and a water leak. So he was trying to find out where the water leak was. So if he'd had the hood up on a daily basis, he'd know where the water leak was. I've had numerous guys wake up next to me in truck stops, start them trucks up, you know, open the curtains up, never get out of the truck, open the curtains up, start the truck up, and then sit there and rev that motor just to build the air up, and then they take off. I was over in Indiana. It's used to be a Flying J, but it's the Loves now. When everybody started buying everybody up, some truck stop changed hands and stuff, but Loves took over this Flying J that I'm referring to, and there was a FLD, red FLD, excuse me, sitting next to me, and that's what happened. I was sitting there, I got out, checked my truck out, make sure there was no leaks or anything. You know, no puddles, no nothing in the truck, check my oil. What is pre-trip? The reasons you really want to do a real good pre-trip every day. Look at that right there. That guy is boxed in. Nobody can get in. Luckily, there's two. This is a one-way here. One way in, one way out. And this guy's had his truck for 5 days. He's had it since Friday. Today's Tuesday morning, about mid-morning. He should have had his hood up 5 times. And see that big deer guard? The reason I know he's never had it up, he didn't know how to take that down. So, yeah. Pre-trip. Do it, and in order to do a pre-trip, you got to open your hood. Well, this guy didn't know how to do that. He couldn't open that hood. Batteries are dead. You know, so, yep, there we go. Pre-trip. You guys have a good day. And as usual, like, share, and subscribe. By God, subscribe.